Imagine for a moment that you are a founder in Silicon Valley or Phoenix, Arizona, in the mid-2010s. The world is changing. Tesla is the darling of the stock market, without a doubt. Every investor and every headline is hunting for the next Elon Musk. Investors are desperate for the future and willing to pay almost anything for a great story. They aren't buying revenue, they're buying potential. He wasn't an engineer. He wasn't a battery scientist either. He was a salesman and a storyteller with a powerful Twitter account and a vision. He named his company Nikola, a bold, cynical nod to Nikola Tesla. His product? Electric, hydrogen-powered lorries that would revolutionize global logistics. He promised the world a zero-emission truck that was superior to diesel and cheaper than Tesla's offering. He promised proprietary battery technology and a nationwide hydrogen fueling network. He promised the world, and Wall Street believed him. By June 2020, Nikola Motors, a company that had never sold a single product, had briefly achieved a market capitalization of over $34 billion, higher than that of established century-old giants like Ford. This is the story of how that valuation was built on a lie so brazen, so simple, and so visually absurd that it redefined modern corporate fraud. It is the ultimate lesson in the hype cycle. How a company with a brilliant logo, no revenue, and no working technology managed to fool the financial world using nothing but momentum, clever camera work, and gravity. This is the $18 billion lie. Trevor Milton was not born into tech royalty. His early ventures included a struggling security company and a truck modification business that failed. However, he possessed an undeniable, almost hypnotic charisma, as well as a talent for social media mastery. He understood the modern investor. They follow the personality first and the balance sheet second. Milton built Nikola's culture on aggression and secrecy. He promised proprietary technology that he never revealed. He used Twitter as his primary tool for investor relations, attacking competitors and inflating the company's stock price with relentless and often baseless claims. He was a master of the move fast and break things philosophy, except that he never actually built anything. Nikola's rapid rise wasn't driven by an IPO, initial public offering. It was a SPAC, special purpose acquisition company. This is critical for the financial channel. A SPAC is essentially a blank check company that is already publicly traded. In 2020, Nikola merged with VectoIQ, a publicly traded shell company. Why did they use a SPAC? Because the traditional IPO process requires intense regulatory scrutiny, such as SEC filings, detailed financials, and a proven product. The SPAC route is faster and involves less due diligence, allowing the founder to sell a vision rather than tangible results. During the 2020 SPAC boom, investors were so eager to find the next Tesla that they disregarded caution. They bought a PowerPoint presentation for $18 billion. At the heart of Milton's deception was a simple lie. He claimed to have achieved engineering feats that were years, if not decades, away. The deception was relentless. The Nikola One lie, 2016. At the grand unveiling event, Milton stood proudly next to the lorry, claiming that it was fully functional and not just a pusher. However, years later it was revealed that the truck was merely a fiberglass shell on wheels, lacking the necessary electric components and even basic plumbing. The lights and screens were powered by cables plugged into the stage floor, the charging stations. Milton repeatedly claimed that Nikola had a revolutionary hydrogen network in development. However, Hindenburg later proved that a video showing a working hydrogen station was simply footage of a hydrogen generation system being tested at a utility plant that was neither owned nor operated by Nikola. The Badger pickup truck. When Tesla released the Cybertruck, Milton needed to respond. He announced the Nikola Badger pickup truck. He claimed they had a manufacturing partner. That partner? They hadn't even signed a binding agreement. Yet the stock price soared based on the announcement alone. The financial incentive for these lies was simple: stock price and partnership value. Each time Milton made an unfounded claim, the stock price increased, making the company, and his personal stake, exponentially more valuable. The most famous and damaging piece of evidence was the 2018 marketing video titled Nikola One In Motion. Nikola One In Motion. This video was crucial. Investors needed to see a functioning product in order to maintain their confidence. The video shows the sleek Nikola One accelerating down a road, looking powerful and stable. The text overlay conveys a sense of speed and capability. The message was clear. Our truck works, it drives, the technology is real. However, years later, a short-selling investment firm called Hindenburg Research published a damning report detailing every lie the company had ever told. And the biggest lie of all, the video. Hindenburg provided satellite images and footage revealing the shocking truth. The truck in the video was not driving under its own power. The Nikola One In Motion video was filmed on a tiny remote stretch of road with a slight incline. The truck was towed to the top of the hill. The driver simply released the brakes, and the future of trucking, valued at $18 billion, rolled downhill. They fooled the world using nothing but momentum and a camera angle. It sounds like a scene from a cartoon, but it happened, and Wall Street bought it. It was not regulators or auditors who finally brought the house of cards down, but short sellers, financial outsiders who bet against the company's stock price. Hindenburg Research labeled Nikola an intricate fraud, providing meticulous documentation of every false claim. They proved that Nikola had faked videos of charging stations, lied about partnerships, and even fabricated the cab design of their trucks. They labeled Trevor Milton a serial exaggerator. While the financial system relies on information, Milton was successfully selling misinformation. Hindenburg's report provided the financial community with verifiable facts on which to base their decisions. The revelation of the rolling truck marked the point of no return. It was too visual, too simple, and too embarrassing to defend. Once the truth about the gravity-powered truck was revealed, events unfolded quickly. Just days before the Hindenburg report, General Motors, GM, one of the world's largest automakers, had announced a $2 billion partnership with Nikola. GM found itself in a corporate nightmare. Its reputation was tied to a proven fraudster. Within weeks of the Hindenburg report, GM dramatically scaled back the partnership before ultimately canceling it. The financial community realized that if GM, who had the resources for thorough due diligence, was backing away, the fraud must be catastrophic. The stock crashed. Billions of dollars in market value evaporated. Milton's charismatic facade finally cracked. He was forced to resign as chairman, but not before issuing a bizarre statement in which he claimed that he was stepping down in order to defend himself against false accusations. However, this time, regulators and law enforcement were already taking action. The SEC filed civil charges, and the DOJ filed criminal charges. The prosecution didn't have to wade through complex accounting principles. They only had to show the jury the videos and receipts. In a landmark case, Trevor Milton was convicted of 3 counts of criminal fraud in October 2022. The jury found that he had lied to the public and investors about the company's technology. He was sentenced to 4 years in a federal prison and ordered to pay a $1 million fine. This conviction sent a powerful message to the SPAC and tech startup worlds. You can fake it until you make it, but lying about the fundamental existence of your product crosses the line from aggressive marketing to federal crime. The Nikola Motors scandal is the perfect postscript to the tech hype of the 2010s. It demonstrates the immense influence of narrative in financial markets, where a captivating founder can generate $18 billion in value with nothing but a camera, a truck, and a modest incline. Ultimately, however, this is the story of accountability. No matter how high the stock price soars on a wave of hype, the laws of physics and the laws against fraud will eventually pull the truth back down to earth.